Welcome to the Alchemy of Ascension Season 5, activating starseeds, walk-ins, and the new human of the golden age. I'm your host, Waxela Sananda, and today it's my pleasure to introduce you to Jennifer Ruth Russell. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you. I am delighted to be here.
Well, I'm so delighted to have you. So I'm looking forward to jumping in. And before we start, I'd love to invite everyone to join me in a short alignment process to help us get present, focused, and really ready to receive whatever information comes through today. So just begin by closing your eyes and deepening your breath into the belly. And let each breath relax you and bring your presence more focused, more present in your body, more open. And as you're breathing, tune in to the light in your heart, the heart light, and expand that heart light out, opening to receive. And now bring your awareness far above your head into the heart light of central sun. And let that light come down through the top of your head, through every energy center. And then continue to extend that light down to the center of the earth, making contact with the heart of Mother Earth. And then bring that earth energy up into the base of your spine, into every energy center, and then focusing in the heart, bringing that light from above, below, and within, creating the holy trinity of light and presence so that you may be clear and focused in your divine presence, in your divine light, and ready to be open to whatever's for your highest good in this conversation today. And so with that, thank you for joining me. And now I'd love to share about Jennifer and what she's been up to in the world. Jennifer Ruth Russell is an award-winning songwriter, a spiritual mentor, and a channel for Mother Mary. She's authored 3 books in the Mother Mary series. The new book is called Opulence Infusion. Jennifer has a successful bi-weekly podcast called Morning Light Meditations. Her intimate partnership with Mother Mary, Archangel Michael, and Saint Germain is the unseen force that founded and directs the Angels of Abundance Ascension Academy. Jennifer's life vision is to empower lightworkers to take back their money power and step into their sovereignty. Jennifer has been a spiritual mentor for over 19 years. She trained at Agape International Spiritual Center under Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. And I have been able to experience some of your beautiful prayer and song, and it's just really, really amazing. And so I hope we get to hear a little bit of that today. But before we jump in, or before we get into that, I'd love to hear from you. This is the first time you've been on the Alchemy of Ascension. So for all the viewers, I love to hear an origin story. What started you on this amazing path?
I'm so glad to answer that. And I just want to say thank you, Waxela. Thank you for your work in the world. And thank you for the Alchemy of Ascension. So important for us to gather. And I just love what you're doing and how faithful you are in what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I started out as a missionary kid. I was raised in East Africa, actually, by evangelical Christians, and my grandparents were missionaries there too. So I was very indoctrinated, and I embrace that now. There was quite a time when I went on a rebellious freedom journey, and I did not embrace that, but I do now because I realize what a foundation of just, sacred connection. It's not the way I connect now, but it was really important. And I've had a lifetime of experience of being a missionary kid, which you're wealthy in one land, you're poor in another. You have to share beds with your siblings and meals with your siblings, and no, we can't afford that. Which isn't it great to dream? So there was a lot of layers and layers of really learning that if you're a spiritual leader, um, you have to live in lack. There's a sacrifice that goes along with it. Um, I decided at a very young age that there was a lot missing for me, and so I went into metaphysics, ended up in science of mind. I ended up at Agape with Reverend Michael Beckwith, and I was led to become a practitioner. And when you become a practitioner, you have to turn over every stone and look at it, right? There's nothing left unturned. And then I was just doing a kind of an inventory of how many spiritual communities I've actually left in the last 15 years, and there's been like 4 of them because I seem to always outgrow them. And so I started, um, somebody took my hand and said, I want you to come with me to the 5th dimension. And I said, like, what's that? And this was like 15 years ago. And she actually showed me how to go and visit the 5th dimension. And I started becoming very interested in the masters, started studying the 7 sacred flames, the I Am discourses, anything I could get my hands on. And I realized that there was no goddess in evangelical Christianity. There was no, the soft receiving was not there. Let me just say that. And I started hunger for the divine feminine. And I thought, well, I'll just go get a statue of Mother Mary. I'll go get a little statuette because you can find them everywhere. And, I realized that I was, just opening up myself. And I learned a new rosary from Elizabeth Clare Prophet on a podcast, and then I was invited to share my music in the Ukraine. This was back in 2013. And as I was, exploring that amazing country, the Divine Mother was everywhere. And I was on a roadside attraction, actually, looking into this ancient painting of Mother Mary. It was dull, it wasn't brilliant. And I'd heard her just speak to me and saying, it's time, Jennifer, for you to start talking with me and letting me commune with you. So that started this beautiful adventure with Mother Mary. And I had heard that that abundance flows through the Immaculate Heart of Mother Mary. And believe you me, I'd done all the prosperity programs I could get my hands on. So I had a lot of that history. And when I heard that abundance flows through the Immaculate Heart of Mother Mary, from the 7 Sacred Flames book, I was like, what does that mean? That inquiry not only brought this relationship into full, beautiful expression, but it also opened the door of abundance for me. And it's been a journey that I am still on, I'm still loving, and it's become a whole entire team that's working with me on the other side to really infuse opulence, a new faith currency, into this earth through us. The value of who we are is just incredible. And we are the ones that are here now to bring in a new way of doing exchange. So
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing about that. I love that the Mother Mary statue or picture spoke to you and really opened that door. And I had not, I didn't realize that Mother Mary was thought of as bringing abundance. I know the goddess Lakshmi in Hindu religion brings abundance. And so I love that you brought that awareness. How gorgeous. And so I'd love to hear more about in what ways or how do you feel like that opened up the abundance portal for you?
Well, not only Mother Mary and her divine complement, Archangel Raphael, are the archangels on the 5th ray, the emerald green ray, which is the ray of abundance and manifestation. It's a ray of healing and illumined truth. And isn't that amazing that healing and abundance are on the same ray? I just always have found that fascinating because I feel that's what we are going through is a healing, a financial healing on every level, or we could call it an abundance healing or an opulence healing, because it truly is our divine inheritance. And so as I began to commune with Mother Mary, she started bringing in wonderful information around abundance. And I was getting ready to start a 21-day process on abundance, using everything that I'd researched. And I heard like 5 days before the course was going to start, I want to give a message every day for this course. So that was 21 Days to Abundance through the Immaculate Heart of Mother Mary. And it was a message every day. I love doing books like this. It's just so alive. And, it's like a living, breathing, sacred text. And just the information that she brings about, the misconceptions of how we're kind of shedding an old skin. We are not created to work hard and labor hard. We've gone through that experience. Now we are really in a receiving place. That is the divine feminine. Of course, we always need to bring something. There's always an exchange. That's always going to happen. But the exchange from working from the sweat of the brow and laboring in things that we don't like and we can't stand, right, in order to make money so we can live is a really old idea. So she has really brought me and anyone that studies with me into that place of realizing that it's really about us stepping up in faith and receiving.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you teach people how to step into that prayerful place and open up? I know you do. It's your work, right? And open up to, it's really about receiving, isn't it? To step into a new place of being and opening. You said something beautiful earlier. I wrote it down, but I've been scribbling notes. I think it was soft receiving or the soft. Yeah, I love that. So I think my question is, how do we do that?
Well, I will say the first thing we need to do is decide, make the choice and use the power of our will, which we are a free will planet. We are free will beings. We have to make the call. No one is going to come in and save us, except we are in that place of partnership. And when we state, I will to have a whole new experience with money. I'm deciding right now, this is the desire of my heart to really flow in a whole different way with money, is where we begin, always begin. And then become like an insistent brat. Just insist and continue to command. Command to me is like I'm commanding everything within me to get in alignment with this desire. Of course, the universe has already said yes, right? So it's really a command of myself to pull this in. To me, we are the focus points here, but the entire team on I call it my abundance team, my opulence team, they are here to respond to every asking. They're here to respond to every prayer. So to me, it's a beautiful exchange of nurture and nudging, being nurtured. This is a nurturing, beautiful flow. Opulence to me means all needs met all the time, every time. It's not about fulfilling my ego desire to go out and buy a jet on my own. But of course, I don't have that desire because most of us light workers don't really care about that stuff. We really want to do our work. So our work is fully supported, always. And I am grateful that I've been a freelance musician and a spiritual mentor because I've had to learn this with my own life. I live this. I know that every time I'm doing an album and I need somebody to come and sing on it or play on it, that it's going to be provided for. But I have to make the choice to do the album and I have to begin. I have to step out on the skinny branches of my life and absolutely be willing to be transformed myself. So to me, that's where you start, is just opening up to receive and to bring your faith, your faith, which is always increasing. I love this one quote from Aurelia Louise Jones' book, The Seven Sacred Flames. When you get yourself into a state of trust, the universe responds and starts providing immediately. So there's the exchange right there, the exchange of our faith, of believing it is so, and being open to receive the answer.
Yeah, beautiful. It is about that trust and faith. And, also, I think the universe doesn't really care whether we ask for something small or something large,
Mm-hmm.
whether we ask for a plane ticket or the plane. It's right. It's about us and what we're aligned to. And as long as we're blocking that, oh, but I'm not worthy of, whether
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, then we're not doing that soft receive and openness.
So right. You know what? I have to just say this because I found over and over, as people start working with Mother Mary, there's a whole tenderizing of the heart that happens. There's a whole opening up of all those pockets of unworthiness, of undeservedness, of, well, I have to do without in order to be spiritual, just a bunch of BS, Really, it is true. You were so right, whatever the desire of your heart is. I think sometimes it's hard for us to get to the true desires because we're so bombarded with, I would say, I don't know what to even call them, false images of happiness. Maybe you could call them that. That if I only had that, if this would only happen, then everything would be all right. We all know that place. If I'd have, I was addicted to money. In other words, if money was there, I was fine. If it wasn't, I was, God left me. I was in separation, complete separation. And I just want to share a story about what I've just been talking about that happened to me. I was standing out on the patio of a house we were renting, and I was going through panic and torment that I did every month when it came to paying the rent. I had been a single parent. I had been, working everything, and everything wasn't quite working yet for me. And I went, oh my God, I've been doing this for over 30 years. Every month, I've been going into panic. And it was just like, where's the money? Oh, I guess maybe I should ask so and so if I can borrow this money. And I blazed some relationships that way. Or, what can I do? What can I sell? It's just like a panic, and it's also an addiction, I would say. And I had this moment of clarity and divine intervention, I will say. And it was like, wow, I can decide not to do this again. And so I did right there. And then I said, I am not going to do this anymore. I am going to stand in the truth. And beloved, I am presence, this beautiful connection that I am. I'm giving this to you. I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm going to do my very best. I'm not going to overdo, which is one of my old habits. I'm going to just do what I can. And I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to just give this to you. And I'm going to receive this rent or mortgage, whatever, because it has changed back and forth. And that's exactly what's happened. That's exactly what's happened to me.
Wow. Amazing. Faith and trust and choice.
Choice is so important.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
that's gorgeous. Thank you. And even just as you're talking, I can feel that alignment. And sometimes, no matter who we are, I think we just need permission. We need someone to say, yes, it's okay. It's okay to do that, or to believe that, or to desire that, and to choose that,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is for every individual.
Yeah, and I think our choosing, that's ours to do. That was one of the lessons Mother Mary brought through her book. The second book, actually, How to Create, is like, you are the chooser. take your place as the chooser, you know? And the universe is the doer. It's the doer, the doing the deed. You know, we are the chooser. Of course, there's some doing in us, of course, but making a choice is so important. It's really the beginning of all creation.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, that's powerful. Like foundational, simple, and yet powerful. As all simple foundational things are, right?
That's right.
Um, so I have a question for you. And this is something that you had sent me ahead. And I love this question. I just want to make sure that people have like all of the pieces of the puzzle. So it's how can we transition out of the old energetic patterns and step into the new 5D experience of exchange? And so just the concept of the 5D experience of exchange means so much. Like that has to be significantly different than the 3D experience that we've been having. And I also feel like just right now in the world, there's a detox of the
Mm-hmm.
way things have been, the way money has
That's
been, the
right.
way all of that has been in exchange. So this is a juicy question. And
Mm.
first of all, what is 5D? What is the new 5D experience of exchange? And then how do we step into that?
I love this question too. And I will just speak really simply into it because to me, the first thing we need to do is let go of everything we know. Now, that's a big thing. That's a big thing to let go of everything we know and step into the unknown. To me, it is simply this experience of shedding the old skin, of the old system. Just think of the money scars and pain that we're still carrying around, the terror that we're carrying around. I just heard a comedian talk, his whole thing is around poverty and what it means to be raised in poverty as a kid in this country of America. And I know many places. I was raised in a country where there was a lot of poverty. There's a lot of shame. People think you're not smart. People don't think that you have anything special, and just thinking about that, we, through our experience of being here and going through these experiences, I just shared one with you, we need to unlodge these old ideas. It's almost like pulling the plug on them and coming into this place. It's going to sound very esoteric, but of the golden mist. The golden mist is everywhere. It is here. It is for us. And I was told from a beautiful member of my team, Manna, his name is Manna, of course. He said, he showed me a pogo stick. He said, you have to be like a pogo stick and just bring down this golden mist into everything that's needed. Pogo that, pogo this, pogo your bank account, put it in your wallet, pogo whatever that you're needing at the time. But allow yourself to start experiencing the mystical answers to the practical questions. It's like bringing things in that seem so otherworldly are going to feel a little strange. They're not going to feel like we're used to, like, oh, just send me the money in the mail. It's really all needs met. So it's almost like you have to get on the eyes of miracles. You have to start looking and appreciating everything that's happening already. That, oh, how did that happen? How did the answer to that happen? How did this most perfect solution to this technical problem just appear? So it looks very much like our world now, but if you keep looking with a high sight, you're going to see not only the golden mist, but you're going to see the answers to everything that's required to live here. And we're going to still have exchange in the 5D. I've been told that the spiritual technology that I'm bringing in is actually from the 6th and 7th dimension. But the type of exchange is going to change. It's going to become an exchange of love. It's going to become an exchange of I'm going to see if I can outgive you as a new competition. It's like being in that place of such generosity because you're taken care of every moment of every day, no matter what's going on in the world.
Mhm. Beautiful. Yeah, when we step into that place of giving to give, giving for the sake of giving rather than giving to get or to receive something, it really changes the dynamic. And I think that's what you're speaking into in this higher dimensional, the new human way of exchange is
Mhm.
give to give, not
Mhm.
because if I give that, I'll get this, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
how beautiful when, when we can all do that and feel, I think, the way this one's set up or the way, if we want to call it 3D is set up, it is like you said earlier that getting the month to month, getting the bills paid. And when we're caught in that cycle, it's very difficult to step into the mist and say, okay, I trust, I have faith, I choose something else, just to see our way out of it. But so this really conversation is to remind people or to let people know you can generate that. You can create that with your thoughts, your words,
Mhm.
your actions.
Mhm.
Um, that's beautiful. And you talk about energetic patterns. Say more
Mhm.
about that.
You know, the patterns, I guess we could call them now because they're, the words are changing. We call them light codes, keys, opening up your frequency, lifting you up. Right now, it's coming through music. I've been asked to do light songs that are infused with opulence, calibrate us to this higher place of that beautiful golden ray. I was taught it was the 10th ray of infinite abundance, eternal peace. Don't, those two have to go together. And the God supply of all that is good. So that is a frequency. And to me, it's about calibrating to this frequency. And it comes through meditation, it comes through light song, it comes through those places where you are willing to let yourself open up to the golden mist in sacred time, in that time where you're deliberately communing. My team calls it love time. you know, it's a time of really coming into communion with your heavenly team, with your abundance team. And these songs are calibrations. They really are. And when you hear them, in fact, it's one of my gift that I'm giving everybody today is the new opulence light codes. It lifts you up. You'll feel it. You will know after you're done. You just feel like, oh, I'm all bright and shiny. I'm ready. I'm ready to receive.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're speaking, first of all, your voice carries those codes. I can really feel that. And I've heard your light encoded music, and it really does balance the system. And you have that, what do I call it? That, I guess, the opulence that you're referring to. It's evident. It's evident in the sound. It's evident in the frequency, and I feel like the opening to receive is the natural response
Mm.
to interacting with your music.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Absolutely. I that is my intention and my desire to complete the circle, and you just spoke into that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when you offer something in the world, it's so wonderful to have it received. It completes the circle.
Mhm.
And I just want to say too, to anybody that's listening, that's feeling like, this just sounds like such a long journey and labor intensive. Your experience, our experience here is like spiritual coin. It's like because we have experienced lack and limitation, we are the ones that know how it is needed on this planet. We are the ones that are, I guess we could say, the perfect fertile ground, to really bring in this new faith currency, especially light workers. And I have a prayer I speak every day, or as many times as I can remember, to really anchor for Lightworkers this new opulence infusion, this new place of receiving, so we can get about the business that we came here to do. So we can really give our gifts to the world, because we are the new engineers now. We are the ones that are really building this new earth. And this, being worried about money, being worried about the heaviness, it's like our experience is necessary, but it's not necessary to stay there any longer. It's time to say, yes, I've learned all that, and now I am lifting up into the new way of exchange.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit on something that I think is really important when you were speaking just now about we are building the new earth. I know there's an idea out there, or just a thought that some people have, that 5D or the new earth is something that is going to happen to us. And
Mm.
then, it's, I guess, I don't know, there's a solar flare or some big change happens, and suddenly we've arrived in this new earth, and everything's more harmonious and all of that. Um, I mean, I think you and I probably have a different idea of how that works. So what would you say, and speak into the building of the new earth, and how does
Mm.
that happen?
Well, we've heard this for a while. We are the change we're waiting to see. We really are the change. We're not going anywhere. This is the first grand experiment in the cosmos of us really ascending in our bodies. So we are consciously ascending right here, right now. And no one is coming to save us. There's no savior. Like you just said, there's going to be a solar flare and we're going to be, beamed up, beam me up. That's it. We absolutely are creating the fertile ground for our own selves, and it's time for us to take responsibility. And to me, this ascension process is a relationship. It's a relationship with you and you, your high holy self, which I call the beloved I am presence, and you coming into perfect divine union, holy matrimony, we could call it, that place of really coming together. So then you can join with your twin flame. Then you can open up the doors of the galactic, beautiful experiences that are becoming part of our experience. We weren't meant to do this alone. But this fundamental relationship, you got to get it together. You've got to get this place together of your own divinity, and you are the one that is going to make it happen for yourself, but not alone. In partnership with the company of heaven. There's three parts of the company of heaven: the ascended masters, who were like us on this planet at one time, and they had to transcend, go beyond what they knew, just like we're doing now. And they're like our professors. They know how to help us. They know this. They've been here. They've had the experience. The angelic realm, which is oh oh, I can't even speak about the angelic realm, because they are part of our heart, and they take us really beyond into the higher realms. And then the elemental kingdom. The elemental kingdom is nature spirits here. They build form, but we have lost our connection with the nature spirits, and that building of form is what we're reconnecting with now, because we've totally abdicated our responsibility. Because the elementals don't have what we have, which is the divine authority of being Christed beings, of being the I am presence. They were designed to take from us and build. And that happens with our thoughts and our feelings, and we've totally abdicated that. So, of course, the elemental kingdom asked if they could kind of separate from us, because we were totally messing them up. And now it's time to come back together in this co-creative process. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, because to me, it's such a practical, earthy thing we're doing. We are earthlings now. We are remembering our divinity, and earth is what needs us, needs us to really take responsibility and come into our shining self here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we anchor we can anchor that light, with intention and with practice into the earth.
Yes.
And I mean, I know for myself, and I think it's probably true for most people, when I go out into nature and if I'm feeling unbalanced, even as a small child, if I was feeling off, or upset about something, I had these beautiful weeping willow trees in my neighborhood, and I would just go sit with my back against the weeping willow trees, and I really would feel like all of that upset would just be taken away, balanced out, drained. And
Yes.
yeah,
And now
rebalance.
we know trees are like a network of news, of messages. They're just like they are so much our partners, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, I've always felt that way.
Yeah.
The trees. I even had in the last place that I lived in Iowa, there was a walk where there was this beautiful tree. It was very, very tall and had all these leaves. And the leaves, as every time I went by, whether it was windy or not, it seemed to me, the leaves would start shaking. And I would hear the tree talk to me. And it was like an abundance tree too. It would say,
Mhm.
I look at my, it didn't say opulence, but I love your term opulence. Look at my opulence, look at my abundance. Every single one of these leaves,
Mhm.
is here. And each one could represent $100 bill, or whatever you want it to represent in your life. There's so much available. There's so much opulence. And it's funny, every time I walked by that tree, I felt like it was just reminding me to anchor in that the codes of abundance, the codes of plenty, the codes of opulence, and balance too in
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah, I think that is such a beautiful thing that you just said, that a beautiful experience for us. And also, you can always ask yourself, am I in lack or am I in abundance? It's like you're either in one or the other. You really can't, you can try to have your feet on both worlds and you're going to have to do a mighty split because you can't really be in both. And so it's a great thing to ask yourself, when you start to panic, like, oh wow, right now, how can I get back into that flow of abundance? Asking, Mother Mary or an angelic to help you lift up into, oh, help me to remember that feeling, just like that tree did for you. Help me to feel what it feels like in this moment. How can I approach this problem from abundance rather than lack?
Yes. You talk about the opulence light codes of creation. How and calibrating to the light codes, the opulence light codes. How do you have a special process for that, or how does one do that?
Ask. We start by asking. I received them actually in that moment between sleep and awake, one early morning. And the way I experience them, and they will be different for everybody. I experienced them as sheets and iridescent gold sheets just flowing down, kind of like the old TV when the thing was off, and you were seeing a lot of screens going down. It was kind of like that over and over, sheets and sheets. I saw these codes. I didn't understand them all. I saw iridescent rainbow colors coming through the gold. And it was like it went through my entire body. And I immediately heard, you need to put these into a song so other people can receive them. And so the opulent light codes are that song. And I just went, I played it. It came out of me in about 10 minutes. It was just really there, ready to pop. So that's what I was meaning too, with how we receive this new experience of exchange. Is be open to receive them in very mystical ways. And it could be in your sleep time. Just ask.
Mm, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I know that's such a powerful time for me, that especially that time right as I'm waking up, that in between where it just seems like fertile ground for whatever problem or issue I have, or whatever it is that I need to know. It's like it can just drop in that moment. Yes, so thank you for sharing that. And so, your gift, which you've talked about, is the Unlock Your New Opulence Light Codes Sound Healing. And that's going to be wonderful for everyone. Thank you for sharing that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm so excited to have it and listen to it as well. And just yeah, I can feel the alignment available from listening. And then you also have an offer, which is a 4-week course. Would you like to share about your offer? This is the paid
I,
offer.
I would love to. I would love to. Um, I want to share with you empowered prayer. Empowered prayer is simply a 5-step process of how to speak your word, how to do your asking, and how to do your choosing, as we've been talking about. Because to me, this is part of our part of the partnership. Is we really need to speak our truth. We need to ask. We need to go to the highest possibility and speak it out loud. So the empowered prayer process is really simple. We start with Thanksgiving, opening up our hearts. Thanksgiving just opens the door wide. Everybody knows that by now, right? And giving thanks for anything and everything, and then coming into your heart, into this sacred heart oneness with your divinity, recognizing this place within you that is the divine authority. And of course, a lot of us are recovering prayers from we're recovering from the way we were taught to pray, maybe as children, and as a lot of the major religions. It's more supplicant. It's more, please, please. Oh, I hope so. I wish. This is more of a commanding. And after you step into that sacred heart oneness of realizing your oneness with all things and taking the time to recognize who you are, because you have a beautiful threefold flame, the fleur de lis of omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence right here. And that is the scepter of power. You stepped up to the dais and you speak your truth. You declare the truth and you start commanding. I command that I have a new experience of abundance. I am ready to experience my true inheritance, and that's another wonderful thing to do in empowered prayer. I do it every day, is claim my divine inheritance, which is opulence, which is wholeness, which is love, which is everything that I'm doing is prospering. It's really important to do that. And prayer works on the fly. That's why I love this prayer. So then after you step on the dais, you speak your truth. Then you give thanks again. Thanks that this prayer is done. And then you let it go and you release it into the doer, the doing, and the great mystery of life that is always responding with the yes, of course. Why not? So that in a nutshell is empowered prayer. And I'm doing a 4-week course on empowered prayer. And I'd love for you to be a part of it because it'll give you a chance not only to really learn these 5 steps, but to start speaking out loud, which many of us feel shy about and real self-conscious about. But this beautiful gift is simple and you can start using it. You by the end of the 4 weeks, you'll have it down. It's not hard. And you'll be able to practice because we get together live, and so you'll be able to practice with a partner in front of others. And what's it like to speak a word in front of a group of people? That can be a little intimidating for all of us. It just takes a little practice, you know. And when somebody asks you to pray, you'll know what to do. When somebody says, "Hey, will you pray for me?" You won't go like, "Oh, I don't do that." You go, "Oh yeah, sure. I'd be glad to." And you'll have the tools to do that. You'll have the tools to change your own vibration and to set up your day. So it's like, mwah, perfecto.
Mm.
So I'm so excited to invite you into this class.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. I love it. I'd love to be a part of it. And so the 4-week course is $197. It's an amazing deal, live and recorded, right? It's both.
That's right. There's some online material. You'll get the entire book. My entire book is called Empowered Prayer. And so you'll get the book um, downloaded to you every day. You'll get to have instructions on how to do everything. And we get together and just do a whole lot of praying. And I got to tell you, after that hour, you're going to be high as a kite. It just
Yeah,
works that way.
I
And
believe it.
you learn how to use the angelics and the ascended masters in prayer. Because when you do that, the whole thing opens up to a super empowered prayer. And the way Mother Mary describes prayer is just so incredible. It's like a river of light, and it starts moving out, and it becomes this living, entity. Your prayer does, and it becomes a permanent record. And then as you release it, it is held in the universe where it needs to be held. It's really it. I think it's one of the most fun ways and most powerful ways to really feel like you're doing something here and now for the new earth. You're building through your words.
Yes.
And if somebody has a problem, your job, if you're praying for somebody else, your job is to see what that prayer really is. Because sometimes somebody will say, "Oh, please just pray." And you go, "Well, what is the prayer? What is the prayer?" When somebody is able to speak back to you what the prayer is, they get really clear, and then as you're praying, it's amazing because you really feel like you're in partnership, and ideas and solutions beyond your own little mind will just start coming in, and speaking into that's when it gets so exhilarating. Like, what would it be like if, it's kind of like that game. What would it be like if, how far can we take an idea? So
Mm,
that's empowered prayer. I'd love for you to join me. We're going to do it.
gorgeous.
We're going to do it in April this year.
Okay, wonderful. Oh, love it, Jennifer. That's beautiful. Okay, well, we are coming to toward the end of our time here. So before we go, would you know what I would love to ask you? I would love
Ask
to
anything.
I would love for you to share an empowered prayer from your heart for the
Mm,
audience, the viewers and
beautiful.
listeners.
So maybe you could help feel into it with me of what is the purpose of this prayer? What is the prayer?
Hmm. I feel like there's a letting go. It's a release of
Mm,
the heaviness and a
yeah.
stepping into the lightness.
Mm, beautiful. Mm. So please join my by coming into your heart. If you want to close your eyes, do. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter. Oh, how grateful I am for this opportunity to speak my word. How grateful I am that this empowered prayer, this high spiritual technology, changes things on this planet. And so coming into my heart, coming into that sacred oneness right here within me, I recognize who I am. I am the manifestation of the divine. And I know this truth for everyone here, for Waxela, for anyone listening to us at any time, that we are the hands and feet, the earthlings of the divine. We are of God and on the earth. We are in this powerful place of change. I'm so grateful that we are one with all there is. We are one with the great central sun. We are one with the great central sun magnet. We are one with the entire angelic host. We are one with the beautiful ascended masters. We are one with our star brothers and sisters. We are one with the elemental kingdom. And I step into this place of absolutely commanding freedom for us all as we let go, as we feel the release of being able to receive, as we feel the nurturing of the beautiful presence of opulence, the beautiful presence of beloved Mother Mary and the angels of abundance. Oh, I am just asking for a dissolving of all that feels hard and heavy right now. I am asking for a permanent resolution to anything that feels caught in our craw, caught in the very cells of our body. Anything that we feel is holding us back or blocking us right now, we just ask for that full release. And I call upon you, beloved Saint Germain, and the violet flame to blaze, blaze, blaze through every cell, every atom, every electron within our auric field. Blaze that freedom flame. Transmute into pure love light all that which feels heavy right now to us. Everything that feels like it's immovable. We see it as air. We see it as, just fog. We see it as just moving through us. And I am grateful to command the release now. I am so very grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak into abundance with Waxela today. I'm grateful for each and every person here. And I just call a huge blessing for everyone, for our work now is lifting up to a whole new place of experience for us and for those that we serve. I am so very grateful. I am releasing this word in faith, knowing it is already done. I release it to you, beloved Archangel Sandophon, to crown around the throne of the Most High and keep it there wherever it is required at any time. Forever. It is done. And so it is, and so I let it be. In God's most holy name, I am. And so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you, Waxela. It's been just perfect to be with you today.
Yeah, it's really lovely to be in your presence and to share with you. And I know that the viewers and listeners are going to benefit greatly. And so just really so heartfelt gratitude for you. I will make sure that those links will be in the show notes. And to all of the listeners and viewers, be sure to get the download of Jennifer's opulent, the prayer, what's it called?
It's unlock the new opulence light codes with Mother Mary and
Unlock
the
the,
angels.
yes.
Yes, and I will tell you also that all of the opulence songs are being released on digital platforms in just a week's time. So you'll be able to just look under my name and just look under opulence and you'll find them.
Wonderful. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. I will absolutely be listening to those. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
to all watching and listening. Namaste.
Namaste.